Welcome back to week 2 of the NFHell season. I'm your host, Midwest Jet, joined by my Seattle native, Dames Marvs. Coming in third, but certainly not least, Ben. How you guys doing tonight?
Crazy week, man.
I don't think I belong on this show anymore. I think the Vikings are winning the Super Bowl.
Wow. Bold statement coming out of the gate, Ben. All right, let's start with some big news though. First in the NFL, as we get going, we want to talk about these injuries. Dak Prescott's my I would say my first thought of biggest name players going out. They look not good, and bam, now they're out.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Surgery. How long has he gone? 8 weeks, they say?
I think 8 weeks.
Now they're saying 4 games. They said 6 to 8 weeks. Now they're saying 4 games.
Yeah, but hold on a second. Have you ever seen a quarterback get a pin and a plate in his thumb and come back the same?
No.
I've never seen that.
Dak attack.
He might be done. Anyway.
Yep. All right, injury 2. What do we got?
Let's go Jamal,
ex-Jet, now Seahawk, made of glass Adams.
Dude, made of glass. He literally hurt himself making a tackle on Russell Wilson,
the quarterback, who he's supposed to.
In the first quarter of the goddamn game. I've never seen him. I don't think I've ever seen him play a game where he made it through the game without leaving because of an injury. I don't think I've seen that happen.
He reminds me of Xavier Rhodes from the Vikings, who would get hurt on seemingly every other play.
He reminds me of Samuel L. Jackson in that movie Glass.
That's fair.
Here's the thing. The Jets won one thing, to trade with you. The Jets can't win anything except one trade with the Seahawks. What did we get for that? 2 first-rounders? For Jamal? Man. Anyway. All right, injury 3. What do we got? Ben, do you remember what injuries happened this weekend? Number 3?
Chris Godwin.
Oh, maybe there's 4 then. But I think Chris Godwin, they just reported that is maybe not as serious as they initially thought.
No, but it looked really bad when it happened.
Really?
He went down and didn't get back up.
Yikes.
I mean,
we got the running back for the Niners.
Oh, Mitchell.
Elijah Mitchell.
He's out. I don't know why, but he's out for quite a while.
Right, and I feel like, good God, they already look bad without their starting running back. I mean, they're going to be who? Was it just because of the rain? Or?
Well, he didn't play in this game either.
He didn't?
No, he was out in this game too.
They don't know when he's going to play at all.
For some reason, I thought he played last week. Never mind.
Then we had All-American hero TJ Watt.
He tore his pec.
Torn pectoral. I did hear that it's not going to require surgery, so they're thinking it won't be a season-ending injury.
Right.
I heard 8 to 10 weeks, but that.
Dang. TJ, AJ, injured Watt now. I kind of feel like.
So, anyway, in other news, this is one of the most crazy weeks I've ever seen.
I agree.
Well, it was.
This week was stupid.
Difficult to predict if you're me, but.
Yeah. I mean,
we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get to those records. What we're going to do, we're going to start off. We're just going to kind of do a quick recap of week 1. We thought it was exciting. Dames Mars was just like, oh my gosh. Hopefully you guys were like, yeah, this was an insane week. We're going to run through our picks from last week just to kind of remind everyone how NFHell works, because I'm pretty much in there because my team and my picks were atrocious. Ben and I joined the club. Bills, Rams, I'll start with that. Kind of what is expected. Josh Allen and the Bills are making a Super Bowl run, and they showed it week 1 against the defending champs. Eagles, Lions, Dames, what do you think about that one?
That one hurts a little bit. I obviously picked the Lions, thought they were going to win because they were at home. And, well, the Eagles put the hurt on them in the first half. And the first half proved too much for them to overcome the second half. It was close, though. 38-35.
Yeah, 38-35. That was a crazy game. Can't believe the Lions scored 35. Anyway, 49ers, Bears. What do you got on that, Ben?
Well, one, it was a freaking monsoon on the football field. They were squeegeeing water off the field before the game started. It was the messiest game of football I think I saw all weekend, and that's saying something. I don't know how the Bears won.
Right.
Mostly because Trey Lance probably sucks. But they did.
Right. All right. Steelers, Bengals. We'll go with this one. I'm just going to say it. Burrow came out of the gate, not firing on all pistons, man. What did he throw? 4 picks and 3 in the first half, 4 on the game.
And he fumbled twice.
And again, the Steelers, no, they find ways to win, man. Tomlin, telling you, that coach.
Didn't I tell you guys? I said usually I pick the coach, the best coach. I should have gone with my gut there.
Yep.
But
All
this
right.
really was the resurfacing of the Bengals. Let's not move too fast.
Yeah. That's true.
We need
The Bengals did the classic Steelers thing and played down to their competition.
They had every fucking chance to win this game, including this is what I really want to talk about. That chase play on the 1 yard line that they called not a touchdown. He was over the plane. If they would have stopped and reviewed that game or that play, that game's over.
Charles Davis said it on the broadcast.
In regulation, that game's over.
That Zach Taylor should have challenged that play and the game's over.
And why didn't he then? Why not? Oh, because coach, once again.
Time. Yeah.
Because Zach Taylor doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about coaching. Keep going. Now
Okay, here we go. Patsy's Dolphins. I was definitely wrong on that one, man. I hate Belichick. I thought, and again, I picked the Patriots one time and then they fucking blow it.
Dude, it wasn't just a win. It was an ass beating.
Yeah.
They looked bad.
Jones hurt his back. Give me a break.
Tua looked competent. I'm anxious to see what he does the rest of the year, actually.
Yeah, ditto.
Isn't it amazing what Tyreek Hill does for a bad quarterback?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's a stud. Stud.
That's going to be my thing all year. All right, Browns, Panthers, Baker's return. They had a chance to win this late, but they just weren't able to do it. The Browns. I feel like they just found a way to win this game. It wasn't really it was kind of to be honest, I didn't really even watch that much because I kind of got bored of it. So.
Is it possible to hate a game because it's just not entertaining?
Right.
Because that's what this game was. It wasn't entertaining.
I'm with you on that. Like, yeah, every time I went, I was like, no, not this game.
Of course,
the first quarter was fun, but anything beyond that, forget it.
I watched the Red Zone channel, so I only got like action. So I don't have fucking garbage in between. I get to watch all action, which I mean, unless it's my game, I'm watching the Red Zone because their coverage is incredible. But yeah, that I would have liked to see Baker sneak away with it, but too much in Cleveland.
Right. All right. Moving on. Next game. Colts, Texans. Dumb. Like a dumb game. Tie. Really. I mean, I feel like that just makes me not want to talk about it. I hate the rule. There should always be a winner in pro football. My opinion.
It was a great comeback. I'll say that. But
Blanken shit his pants at the end. You know what I'm saying? No. All right. Saints, Falcons. James, what do you think about that? Saints beat the Falcons.
Better uniforms prevailed.
Yep. Mariota.
Just like I said.
Yep. All right, Ben, did you get that one right? I can't remember.
Yeah. Because I said the Falcons are the worst team in the NFL, and I think I'm right.
Good point. Yep. Well, good point. I think you're still on track for that. Next one, I'm just going to take, you guys can suck it. Ravens beat the Jets. Joe Flacco is a freaking statue of liberty. I mean,
he pooped his pants.
He pooped his pant. Like just the one. Jaguars, Commanders. Who you got on that, Ben? Commanders.
This game was fun, and I think I think Ben billed this as the worst game of the week.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't
one of the best games of the week. I thought
Dolphins Patriots was worse.
It was so much fun.
Agreed. Yeah,
it was so much fun to watch. And I mean, I said there was going to be 3 points in the whole game. I was wrong too.
That was a bold prediction.
But I got the end winner correct, so that's all I really care about. But
right, so yeah, Carson Wentz gets a win.
Fun game
again. Doug Peterson. Look at the change in the Jaguars already, though. Like one game. I mean, it's crazy. All right, Packers Vikes. Guess who has this one and didn't pick their team? That would be who? This guy. Where's he?
I don't know what we were doing. I don't know what the hell O'Connell was doing. How did Justin Jefferson get that open? Twice! He got open like that twice in the end zone.
He's a freak, man. That guy is a freak.
Dude, just hit the gritty.
Yeah, he might be debatably the best receiver in the game right now.
I think he is.
Yeah, right. He's definitely in the conversation. All right. Moving on, because that's what we're really doing. We're done with that. Titans Giants. This is my biggest surprise of the week. I do like the one thing about this game, their coach going for 2, dude. I love that, especially in first game, man. I love that. And then Saquon came over. They were like almost crying. First game of the year. Like,
that ended up being the difference. But that could put a significant change in the feel of that locker room, and they may come out with some stuff that we didn't. But I love that call.
Me too.
I said this not on this show, but in talking with some friends about Dayball. I said that there is a good chance Dayball is going to put his neck on the line immediately, and he did it with that 2-pointer. Because if he doesn't get that, he's probably getting fired in 4 weeks. Like,
I mean, it's New York, so he's at least going to be getting roasted.
Like, he would never live that down if they didn't get it ever.
Mm-hmm.
In that media market, that would never work. But they got it, and they beat the Titans somehow.
Bada bing, bada boom. We'll see this week. Get to that game. We'll talk about that. Our Raiders Chargers division game, first one. I thought the Raiders came out kind of flat. Chargers look good, man. Chargers look good. I think they kind of took a step up towards they're in the conversation. You know, they win some good, big, tough games down the stretch. Look out, man. Team could be good. James?
I just think that, I think Herbert's the best quarterback in the NFL. Yep. And I don't care what numbers say. He is. He can make all the throws. And sometimes, think about this, sometimes when you have a 400-yard game, it's not because you're awesome. It's because your fucking defense.
And you're getting just,
I mean, you're having to sling it because you're not scoring or whatever. Like, look at, I don't want to get to the Russell Wilson game, but look at, he had like 350 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and they lose.
Right. And Flacco threw it 59 times, if you guys wanted to know, for the Jets this week. 59. That's
insane.
Anyway. All right. Okay. So we're going to start you off this one, Ben. What about Chiefs Cardinals?
Laughing stock. Those are the 2 words that come to my mind, because that's what the Cardinals looked like on Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, they looked like the worst team in that division. They looked worse than the Niners.
Yep.
I'm serious. They look worse than the Niners.
I'm with you on that. I think they looked atrocious. The Chiefs did whatever they wanted the entire game.
At least the Niners got some stops.
Yeah.
At least the Niners defense did something.
Yeah. Like, and they were Cardinals, also, they were playing on a monsoon, like you said. So there was a little bit of, we'll see this week as they get going. Bucks Cowboys, like we said, the big injury to Dak.
This game sucked.
I made this prediction on emotion because I really don't like Tom Brady. Lesson learned. Fuck the Cowboys.
Yeah, never go with the Cowboys, man. Especially now, Dak's out 8 weeks. All right, Broncos, Seahawks, Dames. You're going to start this off Monday night, by the way.
Are you still going to stick with the Giants as your biggest surprise of the week?
They're not mine.
You're right. This is actually, you're right, man.
All right.
I'd say
here's the thing. When I said that Seattle was going to win, I believed it. I know the kind of situations that happen in that locker room and what happens on that field. And this is exactly, I mean, I obviously don't think we're going to go 1-16, but I said that to emphasize how much I thought we were going to win this game. Now, we didn't win by 8, but 1 point victory is still a victory. And I just knew that Russell was, not that he's not up to the task, but the moment was too big for us to not capitalize on.
Can we talk about the end of that game? What the hell was Hackett doing?
Absolutely should. Well, here's the thing. And here's what Ben's talking about. There's 40 seconds left on the clock. They're at where there's a 64-yard field goal in question on 4th and 5. Rather than put in the guy that you've traded 3 first-round picks and a slew of players to get,
including a monster tight end
and a future Hall of Famer. I mean,
yeah, you trust a kicker to kick the second longest field goal in NFL history to win the game.
And not only does he kick it once, he kicks it twice because he kicked it first and they called a timeout and he missed.
Yeah. Which is something Pete Carroll does that frustrates the hell out of me. Because every time I see it sail wide, I'm like, why did you do that? I don't believe in icing a kicker. I believe the faster they have to run out there and kick it, the harder it is for them. If you give them time to settle it, like think about it. There's 20 seconds in the game, the clock's ticking, you have to run out there and kick it. You have no time to think about anything.
Yep.
If you call a timeout, like you give them time to go.
Hopefully I don't miss this.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't miss this.
So
I mean,
I hate people that try and ice the kicker. So and that's another reason, one of the problems I have with Pete Carroll. Although I was very happy to see him jumping around like a lunatic on the sidelines. But what a crazy
I think that Hackett probably, if the Broncos suck this year, which I think we underestimated as a possibility that the Broncos might still suck. If the Broncos suck, Hackett might get fired.
Well, he's a first-year coach. I don't know that that's true because they got a lot of.
He blew the first game. I think the Broncos win this game if they go for it on 4th and 5.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
It's overreaction.
If it is a little overreaction because here's the thing. True, if you go for it on 4th and 5 with Russell Wilson, what you put all this investment into, and he misses it, no one questions you.
But there's an 82% chance he gets it.
I don't know if it's that high, but
I thought it was like 1% difference.
But here's the thing. This is classic Russell Wilson. He's dying inside. He wanted that ball. But he goes up on the podium and he says, I don't question the coach's call. We have the best kicker in football. And that's just the bullshit that I'm sick of. And I'm glad,
Right.
I'm glad he's gone.
And that's a lie. And I'm glad that
he should have said, you know what? I realize there's going to be a lot of speculation about the call, but the truth of the matter is I'm here as a player, not a coach. So I accept whatever the coach says. I may not always like it, but it is what it is. We move on to week 2. That's what you say.
Yes.
You don't fucking fake the shit because everyone fucking knows that you're lying, dude. Bye, Russell. Welcome back, bitch.
Well, I'll give you props, Dames, as we kind of go into, we're going to start our picks here. We'll start with our records, and that kind of helped you go up and above and beyond, and you started the year off 10-6 in first place in this 3-man NFHell league we have here. Good job. Congrats. You were the only guy over 500. I personally was at 8-8, which to me, it's like flipping a freaking coin, which I feel like this week is also going to be very similar. I'm just going to flip a coin and pick a team. And then Ben didn't do so hot, but he's going to try to rebound from his 5-11 start, coming in at 3rd place, picking against his own team. I mean, that would probably be
the funniest part to me. You picked against your own team. I realize.
Well, because in my defense, Kirk Cousins is my quarterback.
Dude, Geno Smith against Russell Wilson. Enough said.
See, here's the difference. You looked crazy last week. I didn't.
Well, that's true. Everybody will probably watched was like, wow, that's insane.
It was like, wow, a rational Vikings fan.
But before we move on to this week's picks, I will say that week 1 made it totally difficult for me to make week 2's picks. I don't know about you guys, but just the craziness of week 1.
I don't know.
I have no idea what I'm doing this week. So this will be fun. Jails, back to you.
All right. Thanks, man. All right. We're going to start with the Thursday night game. And actually, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we're here a night early. So this is going to be a night early. Don't get used to it out there. Again, as we're going through these picks, we would love it if you would chime in down below. Last week, we had a couple people chime in. We appreciate that. And I believe actually the one person picked the Texans, I think, right? But so, I mean, hey, look at that. A Texans fan hopping in. We love it.
Can I comment on that?
Yeah.
And I reached out to him in the middle of the game when Houston was up big.
Yeah.
And I said, I apologize for picking against Houston. I'm sorry. He goes, I told you, motherfucker. And I said, I come to you humbly and you call me a motherfucker. And then they went, obviously you saw what happened.
I call you a motherfucker all the time.
That's fine.
That's very true. You do.
All right.
I'm very nice. I'm very nice to Midwest Jet though.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it. Except for talking shit about the Jets. But I mean, that's not tough to do. I mean,
you do that.
That's true. I do. I do. All right, Thursday night, a big game. Once again, this is, like I said, flip a coin. Chargers at Chiefs, a team I just got done saying that I was like, man, they're a Super Bowl contender. And then they're playing the Chiefs in Kansas City. Now, all Thursday night games, I always feel like the home team has the advantage because it's a short week. They're traveling. They're doing all that. But for some reason, this time, I feel like the Chargers are going to go into Kansas City and get the victory. So I'm taking Chargers on this one, a close one. I'm going to say 31-28. James, what you got?
All right. If you recall last week, I said Justin Herbert's the best quarterback in the NFL. Not a huge fan of Patrick Mahomes being up there. However, I did say Herbert's going to have trouble when he goes into Kansas City. And the reason I said that was because of the warm weather that he's experiencing now. It's so early in the season yet that weather is not going to play a factor in this game. So I have to stick with I can't talk out of both sides of my mouth. So I don't know that I feel the most comfortable about this. If it was late December, I would pick Kansas City, but I'm going Chargers all the way, baby.
All right, Ben. So,
okay, this is frankly one of those games where I like to say who the fuck knows. Because that's really what it is. Who the fuck knows? It's two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I on these short weeks, it is kind of weird. You never know who's real. You've seen some really bad teams beat some good teams on these short weeks just because it's weird.
Yep.
But I don't like picking against Mahomes because every time I've done it, he's beat my ass. So I got to pick the Chiefs.
All right. 2-1 Chargers Chiefs. Week 2, I'm definitely going to start off with this one. My New York Jets traveling to Cleveland, taking on Brissett and the Browns. Here's the deal. I feel like if they didn't win the Ravens game, I was kind of fine with it. I was expecting it, even though I picked them to win. Again, this is NFHell. I'm in a living hell with my team, the Jets. So I got to just keep riding it with them. I mean, I'm picking the Jets. Here's the reason why. The defense played very well against Lamar Jackson the first half. The reason they got blown out is because turnovers, and then they were on the field for 13 hours. So because the Jets' time of possession in the game was pretty much back and forth about halvesies with the Ravens. So it's just big plays for the Ravens. And Joe Flacco, like I said, was a statue. So I'm going Jets on this one. I'm going to say 28-13. I think the Jets are maybe going to string some points together this time against the Browns. 28-13.
Zach Wilson going to play?
No, not back till week 4.
At the soonest.
Yeah, maybe week 5. Who you got, Dames, on this game?
Jet. I'm going to give you the Jets this week. I would feel a lot better if Wilson was starting, because but Cleveland can't win 2 games. They can't go 2-0 after trading away Baker Mayfield and awaiting their centerpiece
McWiener
suspension.
Right.
So I don't like it. I've picked twice now, and I don't like either pick. But
okay, so you're probably getting both right.
Jets.
Who you got, Ben, in this Jets game? You got to go 3-0? 3 people?
No, God no. Both of these quarterbacks suck. I'm not going to watch this game. I want you to know that. I'm going to watch Red Zone, and if they happen to show this game, I'll probably change the fucking channel.
No team will make the Red Zone.
Yeah, Mike. I think the Jets won the Red Zone twice.
I'm picking the Browns only because I think Brissett is slightly better than Flacco, but I don't think it's by much.
All right. Okay. We know your feeling. It's fine. It's fine.
If Zach Wilson was starting, I would pick the Jets.
Why do you hate the Jets, bro?
I don't. I hate Joe Flacco.
All right. Next game. Moving on. Commanders. That name is still stupid. Lions. At Lions. And you know what? This is the time. Lions are going to win one. At home. They just came off a close game again. Damn, they were close like every game last year. I feel like a few of these have to start churning their way. Not a bunch, but this one against Carson Wentz, I don't trust that guy. I also, don't like golf, but I think the Lions looked pretty good last week. So I'm going Lions. And I don't really have a score, maybe 21-14. Ben, what do you got on this one?
Lions by 12. It's not even close. I don't like Wentz at all. I live in North Dakota, by the way, the land of Carson Wentz fanboys. And even the Carson Wentz fanboys have turned on Carson Wentz.
Wait, are you wearing a Carson Wentz jersey?
You wish. Lions looked good in the second half.
Yep.
And they looked good in the first quarter. I still love Dan Campbell. Lions are winning this game.
All right, Dames, what you got?
Well, I don't have any serious problems with Carson Wentz, and I'm actually keenly aware of the Washington Commanders, and I like what's going on there. If this game was in Washington, I would pick them, but Detroit losing 2 at home in a row when I know they can put up points now, especially against pretty stout defense, I'm going to give it to Detroit.
All right, 3-0. Lions. How often can you say that? People are picking the Lions. Weird. All right, Bucs Saints. Big game in Nolans. James, go first on this one. Who you got?
Bucs. I fucking hate Tom Brady, but
yeah,
I'm not doing it again. The uniforms aren't enough to get past Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Bucs O-line was trash, and I feel like he had a couple opportunities where they could have got a couple more touchdowns. The thing is they still pull it out. They still win. Their defense is better, I think, than it was last year. I also have Bucs over Saints. I just don't think famous Jameis can do much.
I will say this. How is it that they have Winston, Taysom Hill, and Andy Dalton, and the Seahawks have Geno Smith? I mean, after
who would you take? Okay, James, honest question. Who would you take of those 3 guys?
Any of them.
You would take Andy Dalton?
Yeah.
Redhead?
Why
Ginger?
not?
You would take the ginger rifle?
Why not?
The ginger sniper?
I like what Geno's doing now, so I'm not going to talk shit on him, but that was a comment that I thought of yesterday.
Why? Who you got on that game, Ben? Bucs or Saints?
It's the Saints. The Saints are a top 3 defense. I don't care what anybody says. The Saints are a top 3 defense, and Tom Brady cannot read that defense.
I like it, and I like it. But here's the thing: on New Orleans, they just have a.
New Orleans could score 12 points and win this game.
You don't think the Bucs are going to score 2 touchdowns at this game? What about
no? I don't. They didn't last year.
A touchdown. I think their Bucs defense could actually score a touchdown in this one.
They got shut out by this team last year. Don't forget that at home.
All right. Can't wait till next week when Dames has a bunch of little quotes on here. It's going to be awesome. Okay. Next game. We'll start with you, Dames. Panthers at Giants. If this was a week,
they're still the worst team in football. I do like the call that electrified that team, and I was along for the ride, even though I had picked against them. I'm picking against them again. I think Carolina is going to get this one.
Ben?
If you watched that Panthers-Browns game closely, and I don't blame you if you didn't, Baker was really sloppy. All game, he was really sloppy. And I think some of it was the moment of playing against the team that abandoned him after picking him number 1 overall. If he can clean it up a little bit, I'm picking the Panthers. But if we see the same Baker that we saw in week 1, the Giants are blowing them out.
Okay, so what you got? What do you got? What do you think is going to happen?
I need to know which Baker we're getting.
He's not making commercials anymore.
Honestly, which Baker are we getting? Are we getting 2 years ago Baker Mayfield where he looked like a Pro Bowler, or are we getting last year Baker Mayfield where he looked like an XFL player? I mean,
Answer you. We're getting this year, Baker Mayfield. Make your damn pick.
I'm
Make
picking.
it pick.
I'm picking the Panthers, but I don't think either team scores more than 20 points.
All right.
Right. I'm gonna go Giants. My brother's a huge Giants fan. Been hearing him talk smack all year about how this offense is going to be a lot better. Saquon busted out with 184, a touchdown, the 2-point conversion. He looked rejuvenated. I still have a question mark about Daniel Jones, though. He's still I think he fumbled a couple times. He threw some bad balls. But I'm going to take the Giants. I'm going to, jump on my brother's bandwagon for 1 week, see how it goes. Again, this is one of those flip of the coin, though, really. It's a 50-50 ball. I think you throw it up, one of them catches it. I'm going to go Giants 21, Panthers 12. All right, move on. Patriots at Steelers. James, hit this one in the head. Let's hear it. What do you got on this game? Man.
Patriots at Steelers. They lost Watt, but I'm still picking Pittsburgh. I don't know why. I don't have any other explanation.
That's it. You're just good. You're going with them. All right. What about you, Ben?
I'm going with Pittsburgh. Minka Fitzpatrick rose from the grave last week.
That's true.
That guy is a stud, and everybody forgot about him.
Yep. Here's the thing with the Steelers again. It's this Mike Tomlin. Their defense is always pretty good, keeps them in games. Trubisky didn't look great. He didn't look horrible. But I just feel like the Patriots don't have an identity right now. I feel like it's like Mac Jones, and he might be hurt. His back's all messed up.
Can I bring up a point about Trubisky? I think that was the best game I've ever seen him play.
Right. And maybe he needed a new change of scenery,
Well, a good coach does a lot. And let's be honest, Nagy was not a great coach.
No.
But Trubisky wasn't costing the Steelers the game at any point, which I feel like he did a lot in Chicago.
That's coaching. I mean, look what Pete Carroll's done with Geno Smith.
Geno.
Can we stop talking about Geno?
No.
I don't.
Never.
Please bench him, Pete Carroll. I don't like you any more than Daves does, but bench him.
All right. Can I have some of those seeds?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to come and get him in a minute. Colts, Jags.
Does anybody care?
Ben, I want you to start with this one. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that care.
Yeah, Jacksonville people.
How many people are Jaguars fans? How many do they have left?
I know one. My cousin is a Jaguars.
You know a Jaguars fan?
Yeah, he was born the year they were conceived, if you will. And so then when he grew up, we were like, hey, you should like this team because they were born the same year as you. So he's like, that's a good idea. And so he just started liking him. He could have picked the Panthers, though. It was either Panthers or Jags because they were both,
I'm picking the Colts.
Okay.
Not because I like the Colts, because I don't like the Jaguars.
All right.
They both suck. Enough said.
Right. What are you thinking, Dames, on this one?
It's another tough game to pick, man. I mean, they look like the exact same team, but I got to go Indianapolis because more experience.
Right. And here's what I think with the Colts again. And nothing against the Jags because, like you guys are both saying, I feel like the Jags they're better, yeah. But the Colts, I feel like once they get this running game going, Jonathan Taylor, and Matt Ryan's there, he's just still building those relationships and building that chemistry. So I just feel like the Colts are slowly but surely going to get better as the year goes on, especially if that running game starts really going. So I'm going to go Colts. I'm going to say Colts 24, Jags 14.
Have you guys noticed this year, especially, that the AFC South is a running back factory?
Yeah.
It is a running back factory. James Robinson for the Jags.
Yeah, he's dominating right now.
Jonathan Taylor. Naheem Hines is pretty good.
Yep. Who else do we have in that?
Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. King.
The literal best running back in the league.
Yeah. Good point. Good tidbit there, Ben. All right, let's go. What game are we at next? Oh, man, this Falcons Rams. I'm going to start with this one. There's no way the Rams lose 2 games in a row. The Falcons are still horrible. I think the Rams blow them out. They kind of have their rejuvenation. They're coming back, Their coach is going to be smiling on the sideline. Donald's not going to be hitting people with his helmet. I'm going to say Rams 35, Falcons 7. Names.
I will laugh very hard if the Rams lose this game, a second game at home.
I think we all will.
Atlanta's not good. There's not much to live for.
They are not.
So I'm going to go Rams.
Ben?
I want to get a hashtag trending. Hashtag play Desmond Ritter. Put him in the game. Get it over with. Pull the plug on this Mariota experiment. It worked for a week. It's not going to work for a second one. Rams. And it's not because I think the Rams are good, because I frankly think the sky is falling there. And I think that this talk of a dynasty needs to stop because it's not happening.
I'll agree with you on that one. I don't think there's a dynasty going on there. I think Donald's retiring after this year anyway. Ramsey.
I think Stafford might retire after this year.
Right.
Money can become a factor for them.
No, well, here's the thing. In the case of both Donald and Stafford, to my knowledge, the way their contracts are set up, they will get paid no matter what if they retire.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess it brought him a championship. I mean, the Jets start doing that. They can pay whoever they want, win me a championship. All right. Did I pick a game? Did I pick the winner? Yeah, I did. Rams. Seahawks, 49ers. Start with you, Ben. Who do you got between the Seahawks at Niners? Does Geno keep his roll on?
It's what quarterback?
My bad. James Marves, this is your starting.
No, go ahead, Ben.
It's what quarterback do you like the least that you pick against? That's
a good one.
Here's the thing. Do we know if Drew Lock is going to play in this game?
No, he's not. Definitely not playing. It's Geno's team, man.
No.
Geno's team.
That is a poor decision. I want to just put that out there. As an avid Drew Lock enjoyer, that is a poor decision. I mean, I'm still picking the Seahawks because I think it's like a 9-6 game, and I think it's really boring, but I think the Seahawks win.
I'll go quick. I'll just go quick. That way you can end this one, James. That way you can have a little chat time about your boy Geno. I think the 49ers are at home. I think Trey Lance is going to have a little better showing than in the slop. And I don't like the Seahawks. I mean, defense, I'm just not sold on it yet. So now again, could the Seahawks win this game like they just did on Monday night? For sure. But again, this is one of those flip the coin, and I'm taking the home team who's 0-1 versus the road team coming in off a win. James, this is your game. Let's hear it. Let's effing hear it.
There's one team I hate losing to, and it's the San Francisco 49ers. Under Pete Carroll, we pretty much dominated them, and I want that trend to continue. I think there'll be a quarterback switch for the 49ers before there is for the Seahawks, and I think that comes.
I firmly disagree with you.
Well, dude, then you know nothing about how stubborn Pete Carroll is, if that's what you honestly think. Garoppolo probably comes in at halftime of this game.
Can I ask you a question as a Seahawks
fan? Let me talk. He
fan?
kind of probably improves the Niners' chances of winning, but I think it'll be too far out of their grasp at that point.
Can I ask you a question as a Seahawks fan?
Go ahead.
If it was between Drew Lock and Geno and you were in charge, who's in there?
Based on what I saw last night, Geno. I don't have the benefit of sitting in camp watching these guys run my offense. So it would be, if you were asking me 4 weeks ago, I would have liked to seen Locke start. But that's because I've seen Geno Smith on our team for 2 years, and it didn't really matter. But, I mean, there's always a chance that he's an improved player. I don't know. I don't know.
I guess we'll see. We'll be talking next week, week 3, and be like, oh my God, Geno, or, well, there's Geno. I feel like it's kind of like these games. You can flip a coin, and that's kind of what it's going to be like.
I'm not just turning it over because he's Geno and he's Drew Lock. If you watched last night's game, clearly Geno it played at least as good as Russell Wilson, who's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
I want to point out that at one point before Gino went to the Seahawks, the Vikings were looking at him, and they passed on him.
Yeah, well, with Kirk Cousins, who you hate. So
I'm not sure it's any better. I'm really not. I mean, we blew the Packers out. Woohoo! Woo!
I mean, you look pretty good in that game. All right.
Yeah, we did.
All right, here we go. All right, next up we got, where are we on this thing? I'm lost. Seahawks 49ers, Bengals Cowboys. I'll start this one off. Bengals at Cowboys without Dak. Man, again, it's going to be tough for this team to rally. I don't think they're good enough with Dak or without Dak. Bengals big in this one, even though it's in Dallas, in Jerryville. I'm going to say Bengals by a couple scores. Dames, what do you got?
Bengals.
I'm going to elaborate a little bit here. I think Burrow could turn this thing over 5 times again, and the Bengals could still win this game by 10. Because that's how bad I think the Cowboys are without Dak.
Right. I mean, I feel like this is kind of one of those games where we're all like, yeah, it sucks for the Cowboys. If you're a Cowboys fan, sorry, Dak's out. It's really not much to talk about. Bengals over Cowboys. All right, here we go. Texans, Broncos. James, go ahead and start with this one. Your old boy.
This one's, I think, Russell's home opener.
Yep.
Houston is vastly improved based on what I saw. Like I said, their wide receiver core is great. But I don't see Russell Wilson going 0-2 ever in his career. So I got to go with Denver at home.
Yep, I'm gonna go with you.
I'm not in love with it, but that's what I'm picking.
I'm gonna go with you on that one. I think again, this whole Lovie Smith thing. Wow, already you can see the difference. Kind of like this whole, like we were talking about, good coaching. They look a lot better. Are they that good? No. And I feel like I'm with you. Like he's not going to lose 2 games in a row. No way. Dangerous. Ben, what do you got?
I don't remember if I said it last week, but I meant to if I didn't. Lovie Smith got screwed out of that job in Chicago. He got screwed. And last week, the way the Texans played in the first half showed that. I'm still not picking them to win this game.
Right.
But I do think Davis Mills is better than a lot of people think, and I think he's going to show it in Denver. I think it's close, but I think they're going to give him the ball if it comes down to the situation like it did last week. Yeah. I think they're going to give him the ball. Agreed. And I think the Broncos are going to win.
Yep. I don't think the relationship is too damaged.
It's been 1 week. Unless Hackett did something really stupid in the offseason that we don't know about yet, like, I don't know, kicking a kicker.
Yeah, Urban, please. All right, next game, we got Cardinals at Raiders. 2 0-1 teams, head-to-head, both kind of, I mean, I'll go ahead and start Raiders, taking Raiders at home. I just feel like the Cardinals are, like I think you stated earlier, a dumpster fire. They're just kind of like, man, they're falling apart. They don't have DeAndre Hopkins. Watts hurt. Their other Watts, not in their whatever. They're just hurt all around. Kyler Murray, please. You know, he's too busy playing Nintendo instead of studying his playbook. So, you know, go ahead and do that as Carr throws to Devontae Adams all day long. Raiders at home over the Cards. Dames, who you got?
I got to pick the Raiders too. I just feel like their division is the best division in football. That's honestly, the NFC West was supposed to be challenging, but if you look, the Seahawks are at the top by themselves right now in a full game lead, and Arizona looks piss poor. They look piss poor, and until they fix that situation, I'm not picking them again.
I don't think that week 1 performance was a flash in the pan. We're only going to see it once from the Cardinals. I think they're actually that bad. I really do. I'm picking the Raiders by at least 2 scores.
All right.
That team is falling apart. and there's a good chance Kingsbury is the second coach fired after McCarthy.
I'm with you on that. I'm going to say he's gone after this year for sure. Maybe during the year.
No, I think it's McCarthy is gone because I think McCarthy's gone by like week 8, and then Kingsbury's gone in like week 13.
I know.
It's not even his fault, dude. McCarthy's
an idiot.
You know who should be fired?
Pete Carroll.
Gary Jones should be fired from being the general manager of that team.
Can we fire Pete Carroll?
Any Cowboy fans out there?
I don't know. We just beat
yeah.
the most victorious quarterback in our franchise history with Geno Smith. You really think Pete Carroll's job's on the line right now?
I think if that's the only game they win, it is.
Well, that's not going to be the only game they win, unfortunately.
All right, Sunday night.
Number 1 pick, but
Ben, we're going to let you start with this since it's your division. Bears at Packers.
Is this like a sneaky candidate for like the worst game of the week?
Sunday night football. Woo.
I mean, what is it with these Sunday night games these last couple of years just always sucking? You ever notice that these Sunday night games, no matter how good they look, they suck? Last week is a prime example of that.
So what are you thinking here then?
I think Aaron Rodgers, as he owns the Chicago Bears, will do it again because he's at home. Rodgers doesn't lose 2 in a row and he doesn't lose home openers. They're going to win this game. It's going to be ugly. Fields is better than we thought. And it's going to be close, but I picked the Packers, but I think Fields keeps the Bears in it.
All right. I'm going to agree with you on the Packers winning. I actually feel like the Packers are going to come out. They're going to dominate the Bears. Like I said, I feel like the Bears, they put in some slop against some slop team again, the Niners. I'm going Pack big at this one. I'm with you. Aaron Rodgers doesn't lose 2 in a row. He doesn't lose at home. I'm going to say Packers 35, Bears 10. Dames.
gentlemen, I have Green Bay on my call sheet here. But since both of you picked Green Bay, I'm going to switch. And I'm going to take Chicago. And I'm going to tell you why.
Let's hear it.
Chicago's defense is what kept them in that 49ers game and ultimately won it. Like every time it looked like something bad was going to happen, that defense stepped up, much like Seattle's defense did last night. That defense just stepped up at the right times. And I think in better conditions, you're going to get better quarterback play and an improvement on the defense. So I'm not in love with the choice, but just to be different, I'm going to switch mine to Chicago.
We should check the weather for Green Bay on Sunday to see if it's going to be a slosh fest again.
Could you imagine another rainy game? That would suck if you're like Fields. That sucks as a quarterback. You go out there and it's just you're not going to.
Do you think, I bet you for how young he is, because he is one of the youngest quarterbacks in the league, like not just because he's a second-year player, but because he's like actually came into the league really young.
Yep.
Do you think that affected him mentally at all? Like looking at that field and saying, dude, holy shit, this is a mess.
Oh, I mean, I feel like I wouldn't, maybe he's like, I mean, I don't know about mentally as in which, how much, but I would say, yeah, it has a thing where you're like, I'm not throwing much today. We're running the ball. I mean, I got to take.
But how much do you want to run on that if you're Fields? Because
right.
Like, how much do you want to run on that? Because you could twist your knee.
Right. Running around in that slop all day.
And Soldier Field has like one of the worst turfs anyway.
Right. Yeah, we're kind of lucky no big injuries came out of that game.
We're lucky nobody died.
Right. All right, Monday Night Football. Now I almost missed this. It's a double header on Monday Night Football. Wow. For some reason I was like, okay. So we're just
going
to
start an hour and a half apart.
Yeah, or something like that. Like, okay, NFL.
One's on ESPN2 with Dan Orlovsky, who gives a shit. I guess we don't have a Manning cast next week.
And we don't?
No.
So the one night we won it. Okay. Anyway. All right. Titans at Bills. I'm going to go with this one again. Man, I feel like this might be the easiest pick of the week. Knock on wood. Bills destroy the Titans. I feel like King Henry isn't going to get much going against that Bills D. Josh Allen continues to do what he was doing right into week 2. The Bill team is on a roll. I say they win big. Names.
Buffalo.
Roll it.
Buffalo.
All right.
Is
Yeah,
it
this
hard?
one of the teams, yeah. Yep. Too easy. All right. Last but not least, this is we're gonna last game is you, boy. Ben, you gonna pick your team this week, or are you going against them again? Vikings at Eagles.
It is at
Okay.
Philadelphia.
It is at Philly.
Okay. I'm going to do something I will probably only do once on this show.
What's
I'm
that?
going to defend Kirk Cousins.
Well, you aren't wearing a sign around your neck that says you love him, which
I don't remember what that sign was supposed to say. I think it was supposed to say Kirk Cousins is my daddy or something. I don't remember.
Oh, we'll find out. We will find out.
I think the
Golden State.
Viking. I don't think the Eagles are that good. That defense did not look good against the Lions late. And I don't think Jalen Hurts is the answer ultimately. I think he's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's the franchise guy there. I think the Vikings win this because we saw it against Green Bay, and Green Bay has a better defense, period. Justin Jefferson is a monster. That Vikings O-line is improved dramatically. And they didn't target Irv Smith once in that Green Bay game. Irv Smith is going to get targets in this Eagles game because the Eagles suck against tight ends. We saw it. Hawkinson killed him.
Week 1. All right, cool. I love it. I love the Vikings winning. The Vikings winning on the road as well. I think Kirk Cousins is playing well. They got a good run game. They have, like you said, Jefferson is on fire, and their defense has improved from last year. I feel like the D line, Danielle Hunter. I actually have that guy in my fantasy league, and I just feel like he is back, and he is on. He's healthy.
Darius Smith.
Yeah, exactly. Like so, you're
back from the grave.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I'm thinking Vikings again. I think this is one of those games though where I could pick the Eagles, and I would feel fine with that pick as well, just because I feel like they are going to play AJ Brown, Hurts. The passing game is going to be pretty good. So I mean, I feel like they could still be in it. You never know. But I am going to take Vikes. Dames, who you got?
well, I have Minnesota written down here, but you guys both picked them. I want to switch it, but I can't find a justification to make that switch.
I think Minnesota's just a better team.
Philly gave up way too many points to the Lions for me to feel confident in them putting Kirk Cousins down.
Right.
And that's the only reason I'm going to stick with Minnesota, because I do like the AJ Brown connection, but Hurts needs to prove to me that he can actually do something. Well, he was pretty good in that first game, but
can I raise a point here? Even if they somehow manage to lock the passing game out, if Minnesota's in the game, they have Delvin Cook and Alexander Madison to turn around and hand the ball to.
Right. Yeah.
Like you have a two-headed horse in the backfield. Like you're going to have a hard time beating this Minnesota team, especially as we get later into the year, because they could just run down your throat if they want to.
Yeah, they can. I mean, the thing is Minnesota is one of those teams like they can win the division. I mean, that division is not that strong. Green Bay's down a little bit. The Vikings are a little better than usual. I think.
And don't fool yourself. The Bears are not competing for the division.
No, not at all. No, not at all. They were. I think they're one of the worst teams. But I mean, what do I have? What do I know? JETS. All right. This does conclude our week. But here's what we want to make sure you do: start picking your teams down below. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with James? Do you agree with Ben? Okay. 10-6, 8-8, 5-11. Let's see if me and Ben can make some leaps. She got back.
Agreeing with me is proving to be a death sentence on this show. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. Let's hear from you from below. Comments, subscribe. We'll see you next week for week 3. JETS. Go team.
Skull Vikes. Cousins, if you let me down again, I'm gonna
hit stop recording.
Bye. Love you.
Don't forget to speak your piece in the comments section. Also, like and subscribe to Lock 22 Productions, and thank you for listening to NFHell.